Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Welcome to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast with James Wilson and Rob Eickhoff.
Semi-seconds in automatic minutes, finishing to diminish the position that was given risen.
And go. All right, so back again.
Episode 41.
41,
correct?
man. Just
Yep.
counting them off, taking them off.
Taking them off
Yeah.
one by one.
So, did you see Steve Maxwell's got a new isometrics?
I already bought
book?
it.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay.
You
I'm
the
glad I talked to you
isometrics-
because it's pulled up on my. I should buy it too because Steve definitely deserves the money. But
I already bought it.
so what? Was,
I haven't, dude. I bought it last night. I haven't even. I kind of opened it and looked through it. Blind faith. I like Steve Maxwell. What he does.
Of course. Yeah.
Anything he puts out. I'm on like the newsletter.
Yeah.
So if he puts out, hey, I got a new, he called it a yielding isometrics book.
Yeah.
I seen the email. I say purchase here. I clicked on it, purchased. That was it.
Right.
I kind of peeked at it. I was like, nope, fuck it. It's good. It's Steve Maxwell.
Dude.
That's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Whatever he puts,
He puts out, it's going to be solid
Yeah,
stuff.
it'll be good.
Easy.
But yeah, I mean the
$35 I think is all it was.
Yeah, it's funny, the ramping isometrics, which is what we kind of got shown and more what we use. He put that book out. What was it, 15?
Yeah.
So I think he sold so many of them. He realized like he undercharged for that one, and now he's got the yielding one. And I noticed that. I was like, damn, dude, that's way more expensive than that first one. And so I think he realized, like, yeah, because 15 was a steal.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't bought it, like, what the fuck? Like, for $15, it's like
He's got
no-brainer.
You got a bunch of explanations in there, pictures, workouts. Yeah, $15, and then even this one, $35.
Oh yeah, still way worth it.
Yeah, I haven't even really done. Like I said, I opened up the file.
Yeah.
Once I downloaded it and kind of skimmed through it a little bit. Yeah. Dude.
I need to. Yeah. My take of it is you're still doing it's the isometric, but like, so I'm curious to see what he does with the legs, and the upper body kind of makes sense. So like, instead of pushing into the belt or something that doesn't move, you're just basically holding a static position, and it turns into you resisting the eccentric, because as you get tired, you're going to want to like sink into it. So it becomes like a yielding isometric, like you're trying to stop the eccentric.
Yes.
Trying
to resist,
right?
An external force. That external force.
You're resisting gravity. Yes. Yeah. Instead of applying force into something. So like doing like a dive bomber push up, or like the hands, or the down dog push
plank push up.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Like
holding that like halfway down, as opposed to doing having the shoulder press with the belt would be just a different way. So yeah, I want to check it out and get some different ideas and try.
Yeah, I'm pumped to try it.
Try some. Of
I haven't had a chance, but
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah,
Steve Maxwell, and
can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong, man.
Can't go wrong. So, which is I guess by next weekend when this comes out, you're going to be competing. Or what day do you compete?
Oh, that is a good question. It's like the 23rd or something. So
Masters Worlds.
Yeah. It's like it should be Thursday that week. So,
oh, really?
So like 2 weeks from the Thursday that just happened.
Okay.
I believe. Right? Yeah. It should be.
Yes.
Roughly.
Yeah. Oh no! Yeah, we'll be a week away. I'm so off. Like next week, I go to Long Beach, and for some reason, I keep thinking like that's also the weekend of Masters Worlds, because
the weekend before.
Yeah, that's right. So next weekend, I'll be at the Perform Better Summit, 3-day functional training summit thing.
What's really crazy about that is I was actually just listening to a podcast with Dan John.
Really?
And it was from the Perform Better Summit that he just did back in, I want to say it was like March or something. I can't remember the date, but it was over on the East Coast somewhere.
Yeah,
they had a Perform
They do
Better.
3 of them. They do one in Chicago. They do one, some.
I thought it was East Coast, but it was from that summit to where they did an interview, then they did a Q&A, and I got the podcast is broken into 2 parts.
Oh, cool.
I got through the interview part, and then I was about to dig into the Q&A part, but it was from the Perform Better Summit.
Yeah, he's a real big, like one of their better, or big speakers on their on their circuit, and so yeah, he's gonna be there. It'll be fun. I'll get to hang out with him. For whatever reason, he likes me and thinks I know things, and like, so we hang out and have like conversations, which is really interesting because he's one of these guys that I'm like, he's one of the best strength coaches out there. He's pretty humble about it and underspoken, but like when you really know like who he's worked with and what he's done, it's like, whoa, he's one of the best of the best. And so it's always interesting when someone like that is like, yeah, man, what do you think? It's like, fuck.
You're asking me what
You're
I
asking
think?
me what I think? Well, this is what I think. And yeah, I guess there's been a few times he's actually used me and some of my stuff as examples in his presentations and
That's pretty sweet.
And stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I haven't seen him. He famously has a garage gym that was voted one of the top 5 gyms in America by like Men's Health or Men's Fitness or something like that. And he has an open invitation. Like if you ever go to one of his, I don't know if he still does. I assume he probably does.
He was talking about it in this interview.
Yes, and he is dead serious. Like if you are ever in the Salt Lake City area and you give him a call or hit him up with an email and say, hey man, I'm in town and I want to come by and work out, he will call you back and give you the directions.
It's so crazy.
And just if you show up, you will get to work out with Dan John and whatever crazy cast of characters, which could be anything from just like local college students, who are interning, to professional athletes, to special forces guys, to, it's insane who wanders through that guy's garage. But yeah, if you show up and you put in some work and say some halfway intelligent things and keep your mouth shut most of the time so you don't say anything stupid, you get to hang out and
Have you ever been to his garage gym?
Oh yeah. I've worked out with him a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's really kind of how, like, that's literally, I gotta say, man, like they joke around, it's a cliche, but right, when we say about cliches, like, dude, so much of it is just showing up. Like 90+% of it is just showing up. So like how many people, actually the way that it started, and man, I gotta say, like looking back, if there's one thing I can say that is I can point to that, like, all right, I realize I've done that most people don't, is I make shit happen. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I do it. I show up, right? So like Dan had it was a workshop in Salt Lake City, and it was like a 1-day thing, and usually he's got these 3-day things, and they're more expensive. And I was like, whoa, he's right there. And so I drove the 4 hours to go to this event or seminar he's putting on, and I get there and I was shocked. I was like, by far the person who'd driven the furthest, right? Like when we went to the Steve Maxwell thing, like you're kind of the same way. You're like, oh, I want to go to that. I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to show the fuck up. And so I showed the fuck up. And anyways, just got a chance to talk to him, but he put the name, hey, here's my email if you're ever in the area, blah, blah, blah. So I was in the area like a few months later and hit him up, and he's like, stop on by. And so, we worked out, and I've actually met, I'm still really good friends with one of the guys, Mark Halpern. He's a nutritionist. He's the guy who turned me on to K2. So he's my accountability buddy. I talk to him every Monday. And we just, hey, this is what I'm going to get done this week. And sometimes we get it done, sometimes we don't. But, at least I got somebody I'm, trying to be accountable to as shit. But yeah, man, that's how it started. But so much of it is, how many people have that number and have that opportunity and don't do it? It's like, man, just show up, just take it. Like, so you may show up and look like an idiot, but who cares? You'll never know unless you do it. So, but yeah, I'm interested I'm excited to talk to him because I don't know. I'm gonna show him the ramping isometric stuff. I think he may be familiar with it. I'd be surprised if he's not. But I don't know. I'm gonna give him the spiel. Like, dude, this is why isometrics, ramping isometrics, they're the missing link in the whole thing. Like, even the yielding isometrics, however, the isometrics. It's like when you really look at, okay, we need to learn a movement skill. All right, like whatever you're doing, it's a movement skill. Whether you're trying to get stronger, there's a skill to the lift. Whether you're doing jiu-jitsu or running track or whatever it is, it's a movement skill at the end of the funnel, right? I mean, would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so what you break it down, at its core component is breathing. You got to be able to breathe, right? Because if you can't breathe, then what's the fucking point of moving? You know, if you're moving and you're breathing improperly, you're not, you know, your cardio's fucked. You're not going to be able to be as strong. I mean, it's just, so you need to be able to breathe. And then you need to be able to get in your positions for the movement. And that's where, like, you know, mobility would come in. So like if you can't do a squat, for example, a good clean squat, then you're going to have trouble when you've got someone in your closed guard really being able to use the full range of motion for pulling them in or pulling yourself up. And, you know, like that, having good hip mobility in the squat translates over to a lot of positions in jiu-jitsu, for example. And so if you have trouble with that squat position, you're going to have trouble with those technical skills. I mean, again, would you agree with that, right?
I agree. Yep.
So everybody's in this, okay, most people, we say like, okay, breathing, we're aware of it. I don't think enough people really pay attention to it enough and own it like they should. Like I said, like, to me, if you're not doing some sort of meditation and using that as a breathing practice, then you're not really working on your breathing. You have to work on breathing in isolation. So even like crocodile breaths, right? Like if you're like, man, I don't want to meditate, well, just do like some crocodile breathing for like 5 minutes or whatever, and that turns into a kind of meditation. But you know, they know about it, they pay it lip service. Mobility, we're all, hey, mobility, yeah. And then once you can get in a position, we go right to creating the movement, right? And isometrics are that missing step, because now once you can get into a position, you need to be able to create tension within that position. And again, that's what Steve, when he separated the skill of creating tension from the skill of creating movement with that tension, that was like that missing step. So we can move, but once we try to start, you know, or we can get in a position, and now you're going to use isometrics to work on creating optimal tension while maintaining the breathing. Because again, that's that missing element. Like you're in your mobility, you got to maintain your breathing, right? You got to assume that at every level, you're maintaining your breathing. You establish that. Okay, I'm going to start working on my mobility. Well, I'm assuming that as you're working on your mobility, you're maintaining that breathing, right? Like as you get into those deep ranges of motion, you have to have the same breathing pattern as you do normally, right? I mean, because we've talked about how you're training your body how to react when you get in these extreme things. So now you got to maintain those breathing patterns when you get to movement. That's where a lot of people fuck up. That's where like the isometrics, they allow you to really focus on maintaining your breathing, getting optimal tension, all of these things. And now when you go to your movement, like now you've got, you know, way better building blocks for that movement. But that, dude, the isometrics and the creating tension that's that missing link that the fucking fitness industry is just forgotten or passed over.
I would say they haven't forgotten. It doesn't sell.
It doesn't sell.
It doesn't sell. It's not exciting.
Yeah, I don't. But man, I've been in the fitness industry, and again, I'm not saying, I'm sure someone else out there is doing and saying and like, but the vast majority of people, even like, you know, high level strength coaches, at least from what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, like really aren't grasping what I'm saying about isometrics and how to use them. And if you did, I think they would sell. I think they don't sell because they're like this bastardized, there's fucking redheaded stepchild over in the corner. No one really knows what to do with them, you know? But once you understand how to properly use them, and then you explain to people how, hey, it doesn't matter what you want to do, right? Like, you want a better looking butt, you know? It ain't, you know, deadlifts are great. But if your glutes aren't firing properly, you can do deadlifts till the cows come home and you're not going to get a better looking butt. Well, guess what? Ramping isometric glute bridges and deadlifts, they make sure that you're actually generating tension in your glutes when doing these movements. And now that you've guaranteed it because you've done the isometric, now you can go and start doing your movements and you're going to get what you want out of them. And I mean, it doesn't matter what. You want a better, jiu-jitsu game. And it's like, okay, like you can... Once you sell that, once you explain to, you know, someone, this is how this is going to help you with your goal, it makes it, like, that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's not the product as much as, like, the meaning, like I hate to say the marketing, but it is, like, the message behind, like, how do you use this and what's the value of it? And if you're not communicating that, then people are going to be like, well, fuck this shit. Like, Indian clubs and steel maces. Right? Like, why do more people not know about them? Like, the marketing for them sucks. Why does everyone know about kettlebells? The marketing for them is brilliant. You know, they did a great job of communicating the value and attaching that value to like what people were looking for. And then they're like, oh, well, that freaking cannonball with a handle on it's what I want to use. And I'm going to do this weird thing called a Turkish get-up and a swing because, you know, they did a good job of connecting and selling like what it can do for people. Yeah, and that's our job, buddy, is ramping isometrics, like help Steve.
Letting the world know.
Yeah, helping Steve and spreading the word, because, man, as far as I can tell, like he's really the only guy who's really tuned in and promoting this stuff at this level. And again, I hope that if someone's listening, there's other dudes out there, please let us know, because like I want to learn more. I'm always interested in learning more, but you've done the Google search too for ramping isometrics, and it's like
no one's doing it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I see no one. Like, there is that caveat. I'm sure there's people out there, but high level, you know, strength coaches or coaches of any sort.
Yeah.
It's just non-existent, man.
It's just,
it's a shame too, because like that example, that's such a really good example of like that deadlift. Like, yeah, they sell that to women all the time. Oh, you want to build a better butt? Do some deadlifts.
yeah.
But dude, most people doing deadlifts, they're not feeling in their glutes. Like, you don't really realize you're not feeling in your glutes until you do a ramping isometric deadlift or the glute bridge, and you have that time in that position creating that tension, and you can shift it like, oh, my quad's getting tired. Oh, I'm not using my glute.
Yeah.
And then so you change the flow. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Or I can't get it to fire. What the hell?
Yeah, and that's a lot of times that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't get it to fire. How come? So then
Yeah.
you just got to look at some mobility issues, positioning, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
But in my opinion, though, looking at that hierarchy, if you're having trouble, if you can't do like a ramping isometric glute bridge or deadlift and feel it where you want to feel it, man, I'd make an argument you shouldn't be pushing those movements very hard in the gym.
No.
Like at all.
No, yeah, if you can't feel your glutes and like doing
Or you're feeling it in the wrong spot and you can't get it to shift.
But then
yeah.
you're going to go grab a barbell and
Yeah.
put weight on there and try to pick it up?
Nah.
Recipe for disaster.
Yeah, especially pushing hard. Like, again, if you want to do it just for movement's sake, you know, like, whatever. I don't think you have to have perfect, because that's part of the learning process too, right? Like, your body it's going to try to learn the most efficient way to do something. You just want to give it the best environment possible and let it do its thing. And so there's, you know, I wouldn't say like don't do any fucking movements or anything, but man, I wouldn't be doing a workout. I'd just be doing like some body weight, some crawling stuff, just focusing on the movement, and still like your goal is to make it feel optimal, even though that means nothing to you. But yeah, until you can really own that isometric tension creation, man, you shouldn't be pushing yourself with the movement stuff. And so, but that's that missing gap. Like I said, like it's without that's how we keep hurting ourselves in the gym. And that's how, you know, we're just not quite getting the results and what we're looking for from specific exercises, because you take them back and you go to an isometric with it and you realize like, dude, I'm just not fucking doing this right. Like the right muscles are just not firing in the right sequence and stuff. And so, but yeah, people just skip it. So, you know, we do mobility and we do a lot of movement-based training, but people are missing the breathing and they're missing the tension creation skill. And like once you get all four of those things put together and going, like that's where the magic happens. That's where like, you know, the good consistent training where you're not getting injured, where you're, you know, able to you're not wasting a lot of energy so you can work on your skill training. Because that's the other thing, you still got to do your skill training. You still got to do jiu-jitsu. So, which is kind of part of that movement stuff. So anyways,
yeah, and you don't want to spend, I mean, I like, for me, like I enjoy working out and training and doing different things. You know, like I'm doing different
stoking
shit.
the neighbors.
Yeah, dude, I'm always, you know, doing different shit, you know, pull-ups, kettlebells, maces, clubs. Like I like providing different stimulus. I know your body is an adaptation machine. And so I like providing different stimulus, like, you know, going swimming after, you know, jiu-jitsu practice and shit like that.
Dude, yeah, swimming's
you know, like different things. I think to be well-rounded physically, capable person.
Yeah.
Providing those different stimuluses I think are important.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ramping isometrics or isometrics, they're such a good tool. For one, there's one I really have trouble with, getting to the right muscles is the pressing ones, like shoulder presses.
Mm-hmm.
Like a military press, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Getting it out of my shoulder, getting lat, because you should be pressing from your lats.
From your lats, yeah.
I have a tough fucking time. That's probably one of the toughest ones for me to get into the right spot, man.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that one bad.
Yeah, that one's tough. Period. I've had to work on that one. It's really for me, my elbows, I can't do overhead pressing. I won't say not at all, but when I'm doing it, I can't use enough weight for me to quote unquote be strong with my overhead pressing.
But why? Because you hurt your elbow? I mean, it just physically hurts your elbow?
Oh yeah, dude, it fucking hurts my elbows.
Does it really?
Yeah, dude, to hold a weight in this position, just the pressure and the compression, and then lifting that weight and running all that torque and tension through my joint, and it hurts like a motherfucker.
Huh.
So yeah, I can hold walked out. So doing windmills and Turkish get-ups, once I get it up, I can still do it. But that compression of holding a weight is, man, that's tough on my elbows. And man, probably my fucking shoulders because I got AC joints have been knocked out from mountain bike accidents. So yeah, my overhead pressing patterns are not the best. They're not ideal.
Not ideal.
And so without isometrics, man, I'd be really struggling. In fact, man, God, now that I think back, I'm talking about it, a lot of my training related injuries would come from me trying to push my upper body training too hard using movements, and my elbows and my shoulders just being fuck off, man. And because I've told several people, since I've been doing the isometrics since we came back from the Maxwell thing, dude, this has been my most injury-free year of training that I can remember.
Yeah, dude, I hadn't thought about that, but I would agree with that 100% for me also.
Yeah, by far. And I attribute that, one, to the results of the ramping isometrics, but two, to me not pushing myself nearly as hard in the gym with the movement-based training and trying to push my deadlifts and push my pressing and push my get-ups, getting stronger with those, because that was my only avenue towards getting and maintaining strength. But I was just always running up against little dings that would add up from pushing myself that hard. So now that I can go in the gym and just do whatever, I want to come out of a workout feeling better. So, yeah, we've talked about it. Every once in a while throwing some weight on and pushing yourself is there, but it's not a way of training as much anymore. And so I'm able to, I'm just not dealing with the dings from pushing myself like that. So
yeah, dings from actual jiu-jitsu training are acceptable in my world.
Yeah.
Dings from training to prepare myself for jiu-jitsu, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
They're
irritating.
Irritating if an injury there happens there and it takes time away from me training on the mat.
Or you injured yourself in jiu-jitsu and then you're doing something training and it exacerbates it or makes it worse, So it's anything in the gym that sets back your jiu-jitsu training. The goal is for that number to be 0. It's the same number as how many times you want to shit yourself each year. So
we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
But anyways, I would agree. So, but that's the ultimate goal, is for that number to be 0. And that's one of the things too, when people are talking about their training, what's more important, performance enhancement or injury prevention? And well, I mean, the answer is injury prevention, because if you're hurt, it don't matter how fit you are. There's no no one's ever given me a counterpoint to that point that makes me consider changing that hierarchy. And so, remaining injury free from your training should be your number one priority. And then improving your performance for your sport should be your number 2 priority. And again, man, I think it's a tough lesson to learn, but without that isometrics and it being explained properly to people as to like what the value of it is, then man, you just end up with a lot of people fucking themselves up. So hopefully we can help change that a little bit.
Help change it.
Yeah.
Those 2 boxes you got to check. What are the fucking people up or not getting fucked up?
That's it, man. That's the 2 boxes. So
2 boxes.
yeah, if
majority of the stuff I do, off the mat is not getting fucked up.
Yeah.
That's the box I'm checking. Majority. I mean, obviously I do different shit, but
yeah.
yeah.
How about throwing? You throw shit?
Besides disc golf, like I got a couple Indian club exercises I do that definitely mimic the throw.
Mimic some throws.
Yeah, there's a little flow that I really like to do. That definitely I got a good throwing motion and I cross my body. It feels fucking awesome because that weight kind of pulls you down and stretches. No, I don't just go out in my yard and throw rocks around. I guess.
Remember like the mace runs we did? We had the rock.
Yeah.
Sequence and all the throws and stuff.
We need to get back into that. You need to get a little mace run fucking course set up around here somewhere.
I've had that thought a couple times. So yeah, it's on the list. And if you don't know, mace runs are where you grab a 10-pound steel mace and you literally just go out on a trail and start jogging. And along the way, if you see some shit to throw or climb over or whatever, you do it, and you just keep doing mace shit and 360s and bashing your fucking mace into stuff. You can find something to hit.
Dirt piles,
or those are fucking fun. I know.
Speaking of fun shit, you know what I'm gonna do today? My little inner meathead's coming out. Is I'm gonna build a slosh pipe.
Yeah, okay. I've had one of those, man.
I haven't had one in years. I used to have one, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go get.
That's another Dan John.
It's
specialty.
It's a good tool, man.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. I came across this somewhere. I can't remember what motivated me to. And I was like, I had one at one time back in Michigan, and I used to have some. There was a party store that was right by my house back in Michigan. They would sell me old kegs for like $10.
Right.
And
okay.
I would take those home and fill those. Like I'd have different varying weights. I would have like 3 or 4 kegs at home. Like one filled up fucking heavy as shit.
Those motherfuckers.
And I used to throw those, but the valves break on them eventually. That's why I'd have to. But anyways, yeah, when you throw those a lot, they start leaking out water, and then you get nasty beer smelling water leaking all over it.
It's not true.
But anyways, a slosh pipe, I'm gonna buy it. I think I'm gonna go 10 foot.
10 foot long.
I'm gonna go 10 foot long, about 4 inches in diameter. When I get to Lowe's today, I'll put it on my back and see. I think I'll go 10 inch or 4 inches in diameter. And then just super simple project, man. If no one's, maybe I'll like take some pictures or post some videos when I'm doing it.
Yeah, Google slosh pipe, but
I'm sure there's somebody out there.
Basically, just throwing a fucking end cap on a big ass long piece of PVC pipe that's halfway filled with water.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot for like 40 pounds. So I'm gonna get 10 foot long, and one end cap is gonna be permanently sealed down there with PVC cement.
Yeah.
And then the other cap is gonna be they have like an adjustable cap, a rubber cap you put on, and then I can put like a hose clamp. That way I can use that for my filler end. I can adjust the amount of water in there and shit.
There you go.
So yeah, man, that's my after training today. I'm going to Lowe's. And
those are fun, man. Because that water starts getting to one side, and you're like, no.
It'll fuck your day
up. It will,
man.
dude. If you don't keep it under control.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you get it sloshing back and forth.
Yeah.
And dude, we're super. It's a good way to train. Like really work the stability muscles.
Yeah.
It's not heavy, so you're not really like fucking your joints up.
Yeah, I had one of those in my facility, and I would love to, like, you'd get some kid who just wouldn't slow the fuck down on his squats, and I'd hand him a slosh pipe and tell him, hold this over your head and do a squat. And I mean, you have to do it perfectly. I mean, and if they couldn't do that, even just going down and like doing it in a zerker position. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you do not control every inch of your range of motion with that motherfucker, and that water starts to get away from you, then
good luck.
Good luck, man. It's like wrestling an anaconda. I think that's how. Because I remember, man, Dan John. It's in his book, like Never Let Go or whatever.
Was he a big proponent of the slosh pipe?
He created it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he created again. There's probably nothing new under the sun, and I'm sure that he. I don't know. I think that he would probably use the word popularized / first kind of introduced it through the modern fitness media. But yeah, he wrote about it originally. I think it was on T Nation, man, back when he was writing for Testosterone.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's where, when I was listening to that Dan John interview, I think he just said, like, he didn't talk about it, like, he just said the word slosh pipe or something in the conversation. And then ding, 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 like the bells went off in my head. I was like, oh, fuck. That's such an easy tool to build.
Yep.
That project is going to cost me $30 maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe
less
30.
than that.
Probably $30 in an hour.
Doing carries with that motherfucker.
The only reason it's going to take me an hour to make it is just you got to let the PVC cement dry.
Yeah.
Beyond that, dude, you put a cap on, let it dry, put some water on it, put your other cap on, you're walking through your neighborhood with a 10-foot long pipe filled with water.
I can't remember if he came up with it or one of the guys that came to it, because he's been doing these like workout things where, people show up and they would bring whatever fucking tools they had and they'd make workouts up with it. And so I don't remember if he made it up or somebody brought one to it. But yeah, he was the first guy to write about the slosh pipe. He also, like, the Goblet Squat. I don't know if you know why it's called the Goblet Squat.
I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, did we? Yeah, he's one who came up with that one as well. But he's a big, he's really into, like, the...
the
mythology, like the Arthur mythology. So it looks like, holding a goblet. From a big goblet from, King Arthur medieval times. Yeah. So that's why it's called the Goblet Squat. And most people don't even fucking know. They're all like, the Goblet Squat, the Goblet Squat. And it's like, why is it called the Goblet Squat? Where did it come from? I don't know. People should know the fucking their history. Especially if you claim to be a professional in your industry. You should have some understanding of the history of it. So, I don't know. But, so yeah, the slosh pipe's fucking awesome. But my point with the throwing shit, I had this thought the other day.
I totally interrupted.
No. That was because the slosh pipe's a great training tool, man. I love it. It got me thinking too. I was thinking like throwing rocks is a martial skill. And you don't necessarily think about it, but for some reason I was thinking about, in the Iliad, if you ever read the Iliad, like several times, dudes picked up rocks and fucking threw them and took people out with them. So, like, throwing rocks and being able to throw with power and accuracy, or like pick up a fucking big rock and heave it, it's a martial skill. It's part of our fleeing, fighting, and fucking. That's the 3 boxes that humans check on a just kind of basic level. But yeah, I don't know. I just think about that. So if you can't throw with power and accuracy, you can't heave a big rock. Like, dude, you're missing a martial skill. How are you gonna?
I would agree.
Yeah, it's like that's that extra layer, right? Like, keep people. I don't even want to get close enough to have to punch and kick you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pick up this big fucking rock and heave it at you. So there you go. Random thought.
That's all right.
But there's your like medicine ball throws.
Yep.
Because all of a sudden, I was talking about, like, it's just boxes, right? So if you think about, like, throwing, and then you look at, like, the modern boxes, well, it's like a plyometric that we would use medicine balls for. And it's the same fucking thing. It's just how are you looking at it? And what's the value that you're getting from it? Man, doing medicine ball throws for upper body plyometrics, you really fucking jazzed on that?
No.
Martial skill, bro, for being able to take out fucking enemies at a distance. You interested in that?
Then it's more exciting.
Way more exciting, right? So, yeah, the connecting the benefit with, like, what people are really wanting. So if you're a fucking savage, you wouldn't be able to take out people at range.
He'd be throwing big rocks.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny. The Iliad, it was... the way they would describe it is like, so-and-so snatched up a rock the size of which it would take 2 men today to pick up. Like, every time it was like that. But we've talked about that before, like how those... Because that was originally a poem. And so you would have people, they would learn, it was the oral tradition of carrying stuff down. And so you didn't have this written down. If you wanted to hear the Iliad, you had to have someone, like, say it. So you would have speakers perform it, and then they would have these sections like that where they would kind of repeat themselves, and it would give them a chance to think a little bit, and so they could think about the next part they're talking about. But yeah, when you read through them, you're like, dude, why do they have these sayings, these little phrases that they use over and over and over again? And then when you realize, like, oh, this motherfucker's reciting this thing.
That was his
That was his exactly. Yeah. I like snatching up a rock the size of which it would take 2 men today to pick up. And of course, that was back then, so it would take like fucking 6 men today. But even back then, they were talking shit about themselves compared to their ancestors. I mean, what does that say? What kind of fucking Supermen were they fucking spawned from?
We just keep getting softer and softer.
We do, man. You look at the Supermen we were spawned from, like the Vikings and the fucking Romans and the Spartans, and it's like, Jesus, we're heading down a sad path.
That's what we're here trying to ward off.
Those dudes were inspired by people. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm thinking about it, it's like, dude, those guys had to have been fucking savages. Because we think of these guys as savages. And inspire us.
The guys that were inspiring
them had to have been fucking savages. So, anyways, we're all descendants from those fuckers on some level, man. So we should be able to aspire to something more than just sitting in front of a TV or smartphone. So,
don't get me started,
dude. Have at it, preach on, man.
No.
Dude, that Amusing Ourselves to Death book. I don't know that. I know you said you got a shit ton, but I'd move that one up
the list
a little bit. That is so up your alley, and it'll really kind of, dude. You read it and you see, because I see it with Shiloh a little bit. Like, he talks about how the television, and again, like, this is mid 80s, man. So he was talking about the computer, and even he said he thought it was like probably going to be one of the most overrated things, that it was going to end up wasting just as much time for people as it saved. And but he was talking about how television co-opting into education was, because like television's, it's there for like entertainment, right? Like that, it's a medium that's like optimum use is entertainment. It's not really great for long form discussions, right? Like, no one just wants to just sit there and watch two people talk. And they have those shows, they're on fucking PBS, and no one watches them, right? And so it is geared more for the, pictures and entertainment and stuff. And so it starts to shape the conversation and the mindset of the culture. And so when you're using television to try and help educate, it starts to deliver the message that education needs to be entertaining. And so if it's not fun, if it's not engaging, if it's not entertaining, it's not worth doing. It's not worth pursuing. And whereas like a typography culture where reading long fucking books and stuff like that was really, that's how you educated people. It delivered a different mindset. Like, entertainment and education are separate. Education is not always going to be fun. You're going to be doing shit that's not good, but you're cultivating knowledge. You're cultivating something on a higher level that's worth that effort. You're not just looking for this immediate, like, oh, is this fun or not? And so, yeah, man, I'm reading this book, and I'm like, because he talks about how like Sesame Street was the start of it. Most people think of Sesame Street as being like a good thing, but when you think about it, it's like, wait a minute. Like, if you look at like, what does the dog see, right? It's that idea of like, it's not what you, like the whole Caesar 911 thing, like, his thing, like, and it's really smart insight. Like Malcolm Gladwell wrote about it, and like what the dog saw is, it's not what you think you're delivering, it's what the dog sees. And so, like, if you're tense and stuff, like, the dog sees that, he's going to be tense. And so you always got to look at, like, well, what is the person who's seeing this message? Like, what do they see? So what do little kids see? Well, they're seeing, like, these entertaining characters coming on and these little 30-second bits doing, these educational things. And so, yeah, they're learning stuff, but that was the line. Yeah. It's not, whenever you're learning, it's not just what you're learning, you're also learning how to learn. Like, and I was like, oh, that's it. Like, that's beautiful. When you really, really break it down and you understand, like, it's not just what these kids are learning, they're learning how to learn. So when you're watching Dora the Explorer and you're learning Spanish, that's great. You're learning Spanish. But what are you learning about how to learn?
That it has to be fun. Or entertaining.
Yeah. So like, you got these educational things, ABC Mouse or whatever, I think is one of these, preschool programs or whatever. that you can get your kid on before they go to school to kind of help, get them learning their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s and stuff. And again, it's like, okay, that's great. They're learning that stuff, but what are they learning about how to learn? And yeah, it's interesting when you really think about that. It's like, oh, that's why we're fucking up people with this. On the surface, it seems good, but what are they learning about how to learn? The same thing with social media. What are you learning about how to interact with people? Yeah, you have 1,000 friends. You get to interact with people all over the world, and it's great. And we can form these communities and these groups and blah, blah, blah. But okay, but what are you really learning about how to interact with people? Not good shit, man.
Not good shit.
No, not real stuff. You're not learning how to interact with people on a real level because that's not reality.
It's not. It's not the same as sitting across from somebody talking to them.
No,
it's not the same.
Not the same, man. So yeah, you start to see when you let entertainment, and that's what the television, internet age is kind of ruled by, is entertainment. And that's how you end up with fucking Donald Trump as president, man. You know what I mean? Like a reality TV show guy. I mean, and at the time he was writing this book, Ronald Reagan was president, and he was like kind of pointing out, like, guys, he's a fucking television actor.
Yeah.
Like, this is a perfect example of how things have changed based on television, because now it's, he's an actor that is fucking anyway. So yeah,
that's interesting, dude. I never thought about that. As that training kids or training people, that education has to be entertaining. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then so when you have to do something that's not fun, so to speak, it just immediately gets dismissed.
Like,
oh, there's no value in this. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I can learn something else that's way more fun.
Yeah. Let me find something that's entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you end up with a generation who doesn't understand that, man, sometimes you need to do ramping isometrics.
Sometimes it's fucking hard work.
It's not fucking entertaining, but it's an essential part of being a human successful, or at least semi-successful human being, at least heading in a positive direction as a human being. It's an essential part of it.
Well, man, I think that plays into the shit I bitch about all the time, is, us being fucking weak and seeking comfort constantly. It kind of falls into the same.
It is
the same thing, like, yeah, you're trying to better yourself and be smarter or whatever, but you don't want to be too uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I want to be stronger, I want to be faster, but I don't want to be too uncomfortable doing it. No, man. Like, for there to be growth, there has to be a significant part of fucking discomfort.
Yeah.
There's got to be challenge, discomfort. You're not going to get better with everything feeling great all the time. Mentally, physically, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely part of it, man.
Yeah.
People just want to be entertained. So that's why it's called entertaining ourselves to death.
I'll have to move that one up.
Yeah.
Up the list. I'm
Yes.
still like, dude, I've been working so many hours and fucking training. I'm still reading, but it's slow.
Yeah.
Slow goes it.
You could probably get on an audiobook or something.
Yeah.
I'd probably help bang it out, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm like, dude, Rob is gonna fucking eat this up. This is
Maybe that'll be my next one. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll put that on my audiobook and blaze through that this week.
Yep. Yeah, it's a really good one. I highly recommend it. So yeah, anyways, there you go.
Anyways.
It's one I probably need to read again. He had a lot of really good articulate arguments that about what was happening and how it was affecting different aspects of like politics and things like that. So it's a good one.
It all has a cost, man. Everything you do, every fucking decision you make, or what you watch or read, there's a fucking cost to it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I think gets lost on a lot of people. Is, yeah, this may feel good here, there, but yeah, man, you're paying a fucking price somewhere.
Yeah.
There's no free lunch, man. No matter what you do.
So,
I don't know.
Speaking of which, I got the Danaher back attack system.
Did you?
Videos, yes.
Did you?
Had to break down and get them. So, I know I didn't get the leg lock one yet. I want to check it out, but I'll say the leg lock one, I'm a little... It seems... Because it's so centered on the heel hook. And we just don't roll. We do a lot of gi, and it's just... I know it's there, whatever. I have a rudimentary understanding of it, but like making it the centerpiece of my game.
Unless you're competing in matches where you can do heel hooks on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And like I said, we train mostly gi. I mean, 98% of the training we do is in the gi.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I want to get it, but I'm looking at them and I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to get them both. And but the back attack one, I was like, that's something I've been making a conscious effort to try to get better at. So it's funny, man, when rolling with people, like I'm trying to get to their back now. And it's interesting. I'm starting to see like how many opportunities that there are that I just, I kind of knew were there peripherally, but once you really start looking for, okay, I want to get to their back and I want to stabilize the position and finish from the back. And that becomes like a conscious thought, which I know is part of that. That is your fucking
that is my
thought,
conscious
man.
thought all the fucking time.
All the fucking time, I know.
Get to the back.
Yes.
There's no more dominating position than that, man.
No,
like,
man.
You're on someone's back.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you can get to someone's back, like when I'm in training, with our training partners, you or people I like if I get to the back, most of the time, if I don't finish it from there, it's just because I'm being nice most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I mean, there's exceptions to that rule.
Yeah.
But dude, bottom line, like if you get to someone's back, you can fucking finish the fight most of the time if you're fairly skilled back there.
Yeah, and that's need to work on.
Yeah, it's such a man. Like I picked that up early on in my jiu-jitsu path, is from Marcelo. And Marcelo was get to the fucking back. I mean, that was the name of his game. You watch all his old matches, back, rear naked choke. There's no tough guy for the choke.
Yeah.
Get to the fucking back.
Yeah. See, I like in mount, like I love mount. I feel I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything. I feel like I got a pretty decent mount, pretty strong mount. And so that was my thing is my mount was kind of like that, the back. Like if I got to mount on someone, like it's like, all right, if I really want to push this, and again, like obviously going against like you or someone who's can just get out of it, but like I feel like that's was my kill position, like your back, like if you get to the back. And so I got lazy. Like I literally would not let people give me their back. Like I would fucking smash people and they would try to turn and give me their back because they just wanted to get the fuck out of mount. Because I will say from my own perspective, I feel I'd rather have someone on my back than mounting me from just a pressure and, I mean, I hate to use the word comfort, but just, less uncomfortable standpoint, because when you've got someone mounted, you've got gravity and the ground working for you as well. And when you're on someone's back, you don't have those two. You've got other advantages, but you don't have those two advantages. The downfall to mount obviously is that your opponent can see what's going on. They've got some more mobility to be able to move and turn, and you're a little more limited in your attack, so people know what's coming. But I mean, fucking, if you've ever been cross-choked by Pimenta, it doesn't fucking matter. If you know that it's coming.
It doesn't matter.
If you are good enough with it. And so, but yeah, people try and turn, I'm like, nope. And like not let them turn to give me their back, because I just was so focused on my mount. So I realized I'd gotten a little lazy, and I'm like, dude, like my back, getting to someone's back and maintaining it and finishing from there, like that's not a strong part of my game. And that was a tough kind of pill to swallow and go like, all right, I gotta start working on this shit, man. I can't have that hole in my game. But yeah, so
That's good. I'll be interested to see what you learn from it.
Yeah.
I might have to pirate it from you.
Yeah, man. Well, I would say that whatever we buy is kind of Grumpy Guy.
Grumpy Guy.
So at this
That's kind of
point,
was my thinking.
So it's Grumpy Guy property.
Perfect.
But anyways, yeah, we'll.
I'll be interested to see what his thought process on it. What details he has.
Yeah, his thought process is what I'm interested to see too, because it looks real similar to what you do, which is get to the back, isolate an arm. And man, I gotta be honest with you, like that's the part I'm very curious to figure out. Cause like when you stuff my arm and you get it isolated, Like, I don't know how the fuck to do that to someone. Like, when I try to like stuff their arm and isolate it and just get the 2-on-1 going, I can't keep their hand. Like, I can't do it. And so I don't do it. And so I get into the fucking fights. And you're like, I know, man, like, I got to be careful because you want to stuff that arm. And then, and then I'm like, don't stuff my arm. And then you're attacking my neck. And then it's like, so that's what because that's part of his system basically, is like, that's what he advocates as well, is like, get to the back, isolate an arm, and then you've got a 2-on-1 to attack with. So
that's the move.
That's the move. I know, man. I'm like, dude, that's Rob, man. Rob does that shit all the time.
That is the move. If you get to that point, yeah, dude, you can just, even if your rear naked choke isn't clean, you isolate the arm, you got 2-on-1 on the other side, like, you can go right to the rear naked choke, and they're not going to stop it. Because you can put it on their chin and just smash the fuck out of the face. Yeah. The fight's over.
Yeah.
If you really want to, do it like that.
I
try to put a little more finesse into it when I'm training. But yeah, when the option's there, the option's there.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to crush their chakra.
Sometimes you got to do the chakra crusher.
So, but anyway.
On that note, though, the John Danaher thing, I didn't realize that the whole Danaher death squad kind of split up a little bit. Like, Eddie Cummings left.
Yeah.
And that John Calistine, remember that?
Yeah. Well, because he was Eddie's training partner.
He left.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else left. I know they both split off.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until just fucking a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I was digging through some jiu-jitsu news, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know Eddie Cummings had left.
There'd been a little, like... Yeah, little rumblings, kind of a split, and I think it was played off more that he just wasn't training with him as much. It wasn't that he had, like, like John had said, get out of here, or Eddie said, I fuck you, I want out of here. It was just kind of more like he just was training. I think he's on the West Coast, or...
Oh, did he move?
Ready? I think, again, man, this is... My understanding was that was... the rumor was that there was a split, but then the spin from both camps was that it wasn't really a split. It was just he had moved and just wasn't training with them as much, and so I think it just kind of eventually evolved into a split. But yeah, because I saw Eddie's got his leg walk instructional coming out on Jiu-Jitsu, which is the direct competitor to was it BJJ
Fanatics
that does the Danaher
plays out
videos. And so
I gotta say, man, like, for the instructional side, like, I like that Digijitsu. Am I saying that? Digijitsu platform. Jiu-Jitsu platform. I like that. Because, you got the app and you can just download it. That's where I bought Rollies. I got all the Rollies and he's got the legal leg locks 2, the like escapes. He's got like 4 of them. I got them all.
Right.
They're all on my phone, dude. Anytime I'm like, let's watch this. It's so easy.
Yeah.
To pull up. You got your. I think Pimento was on there. I think his is on the. If I remember right, seems like I can't remember, but
yeah,
it makes it really nice and easy to pull up and access. Man, I really like it.
Yeah.
When you bought the Danaher, is it digital?
It's the same one.
Is it digital or? Did you actually have to get fucking DVDs?
No. It's a digital.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing. It's in your account, and they now they got digital chapters, because that was why they were having that sale. That I took advantage of, is because they'd gotten all of, I guess, the digital chapters in their online videos, whereas before I think they were just, here's DVD 1, fucking 2 hours long, DVD 2 hours long, whereas opposed, like, on the DVDs they had like the menus that you could go through, and so I think that was kind of their value add for having the DVD. And then, but yeah, I think Jiu-Jitsu does it that way, which I think is definitely the better way.
Yeah, like the way Rollies instructionals are set up, man, it's fucking sweet. You pull it up and it just literally. You just got a whole menu, and each technique is just listed.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I want to watch this one. Boom. Click it, and it's 2 minutes long or whatever it is. Yeah. It's fucking awesome. Another one that's really good, too, is that Wagner Rocha 50-50 of the arms.
Yeah.
That's a badass instructional.
Is that one on Jiu-Jitsu? I thought that was on BJ. No, that was on
that was not on
Fanatics.
No, yeah. Is that on BJJ Fanatics?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's all laid out like that.
Yeah.
I have that one on my iPad, dude.
Okay.
I watch that randomly while I'm eating dinner. Like, oh, yeah. That's where I'm missing that detail. I was actually reviewing that just this past week, and I was trying some of that shit on one of our big killer trainer partners, Matthias.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I gotta find an answer to this fucking gorilla. But
yeah, tie up his legs. He's like a bull.
But speaking of the jiu-jitsu news, though, man, like the Kasai Pro 3 is going down next weekend in New York. I don't know, have you paid attention to that at all? It's another, grappling tournament.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't know who's on the card.
Dude, I don't know. Oh, so the card is pretty fucking sweet. That's why I want to talk about it. It's a welterweight tournament, and it's an 8-man tournament, and they do 2 4-man round robin brackets. So it's how it's set up is you got to fight everybody in your bracket, and you get points for like if you get a submission win or whatever. And so you accumulate points by how you win your matches, and then the winner of each brackets go against each other. It's kind of cool, but they got some fucking killers in there.
Huh.
And then like Wagner Roach is in there. I wrote it down. PJ Barch. There's some other badasses. I don't need to go through it. But what's another match on that same card, like one of the super fights that's fucking super exciting, is Craig Jones and Paul Harris.
Okay, yes, yeah. Ooh. So I kind of keep up with the matches and stuff, so I knew that was coming up. I saw that
next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah,
dude. Paul Harris is looking fucking jacked.
Dude, he always looks jacked. Yeah, I'm speculating there's not a lot of testing going on for this event.
No.
That'd be an interesting match, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw him against Gary Tonin.
Yep.
And
that was a fun match to watch.
Gary did a good job against that fucking beast.
He did a really good job.
I mean, if you're gonna give someone the edge in that, man, I'd probably given it to him. Like he was definitely making old boy work and keep the fuck out of danger. But so I'll be interested to see what Craig.
Once he throws at him, how it's gonna work.
Yeah, what's his strategy gonna be? If the old fucking Z-guard works.
Yeah, that guy's so terrifying, man. I was watching some training clips with Paul Harris, and fuck, that dude's terrifying. And just he's the type of guy that doesn't let go of shit too.
Yeah.
He's notorious for getting a hold of a limb, cranking on it. Ref yelling at him to stop, and he's still just fucking cranking on it, which isn't good, man. I don't advocate that.
No.
For entertainment purposes, I think it's fantastic. It's like I want to watch it. Like if that dude's got a match coming up, like I want to watch it.
You want that character?
Yeah,
he's fucking Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good for the sport, man. Like it's not cool in any way, shape, or form. No. But it's entertaining.
Yeah.
If you're gonna throw 2 gladiators in the fucking pit and let them have at it, like that's part of the deal.
Yeah, man. That's
I'm pumped for that. That goes down next Saturday, I think.
Nice. Yeah, let's see. But checking that one out.
Did you, and on more jiu-jitsu news, did you see, you probably didn't, there was that fucking featherweight black belt. So featherweight in IBJJF rules is 154 with a gi. Won the absolute at this Seattle Open.
No.
Yeah, dude. He's a pretty brand new black belt. Like recently promoted. What's this fucker's name? I wrote it down. Where'd he go? Oh, Cole Franson. And he doesn't look like a physical specimen. He's not a physical specimen. He makes 154 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, won the absolute. He took silver in his bracket, and I watched that match. I found it on Flow Grappling. That was an exciting match. He lost the match. The dude he went against, I forget, was fucking slick, man. It was fun to watch. But then he went to the absolute, and he beat 2 heavyweights. He beat Popolo. He beat James Popolo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he beat this other dude, like Wellington Perodo, which are they're killers. Huge dudes.
Yeah.
Big fucking dudes.
They're both big guys.
And this guy's 150 pounds, fucking beat him. Took gold in the absolute.
What, like points?
I haven't seen the matches.
No?
It didn't say when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
When I was looking at the article.
Huh.
I want to go find those matches, see what happened, but that's badass, dude. I love rooting for the little guy.
Hell yeah.
Especially a newer black belt. He goes in, wins the fucking absolute.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm sure them big dudes were pissed.
Dude, you remember that the kid in Fight to Win a few years ago, the little Mexican kid.
Real short kid.
Real short kid that fucking that was in that the video went viral. I mean,
yeah.
He was the dude he beat was huge. And yeah, man, submitted that fucker. He had a little run there for a second.
That kid's good.
Yeah.
Kid, I say kid.
I know.
I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No,
He's
I don't
probably a
mean
grown ass man like we are.
Yeah.
The dude's good.
Yeah.
You see him at a lot of Colorado tournaments.
Yeah.
I forget what the dude's name is. Yeah, but that video went viral. Because I remember it was at like towards the end of the day at the Fight to Win.
Yeah.
Because in the background they were rolling up all the mats.
Right, yeah.
And my buddy Hans was the ref, if I remember right, from Mauricio School.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a fun video.
That's a good one, but that's always
the underdog's fun to root for, man.
Those are, man. That's the inspiring thing. That's the while we know that it doesn't always come out, man, because size and strength does matter for sure. But man, if done right, the little dude and getting the technique in, like, that's the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu. That's why we love to see that shit, because it does like show like, oh yeah, you know, if you do it right, that's the point of this stuff, is you can freaking take out a bigger, stronger dude. So.
You know, but part of me, like, you know, I'm a little guy, so I know that perspective and I understand it. But like, I feel bad for the big dude because, like, he's in a lose-lose situation.
Right.
You know, he's expected to win, and if he smashes that little guy, a big fucking deal. You smash somebody that you outweigh by 80 pounds.
Yeah.
But then if you get beat, like, oh fuck, you got beat. Like,
Yeah,
it's like, God damn it, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool.
No,
like, I mean, that's part of the absolute division. That's all. Everybody knows that going in.
Right.
You know, so it's just part of the game. But like, I do, even like in training situations, you know, like some of our big training partners. You know, you feel bad for him a little bit, dude. Like, you know, like our buddy Matthias, big, great guy to train with. I love training with him, but he's a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't know him, like, you might not try. You know, I'm hesitant to roll with big guys if I don't know them. Like, cause I'm not gonna, if I don't trust them and I don't know them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a significant element of danger there. So then, if you're a big fucking guy, man, that a lot of times that can decrease the number of training partners, the people that are willing to train with you hard. You know, so it's kind of a fucked up situation for the big guys, you know.
Yeah.
I forget that sometimes, me being a little guy. You know, it's poor big guys.
Poor big guys.
Poor fucking big guys, man. I feel bad
You
sometimes.
can feel bad for him next time he's smashing you.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When I was rolling with that fucking gorilla yesterday, we were scrambling, boom, 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 and we got into a position to where, like, he was killed. Like, I was on bottom, and he was killing my legs, and the pass was coming.
Yeah.
And so I was just like framing up, like getting ready to like try to find space. And he's so nice and gentle. He's like, "You all right?" Because I kind of like stopped and was like, just sit. Because I knew my internal organs were about to get smashed. Like, if he's getting past my legs, like, this is going to be fucking bad.
Yes.
And he was so nice. He stopped. He's like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just preparing for the smash." I had to, like, mentally prepare myself to just get fucked up. Like, oh,
Dude,
this is going to hurt.
That is hilarious. He did the same thing to me yesterday because we were rolling, and I had him tied up a little bit, and his legs tied up, and I went for something, and it didn't work out. And I ended up, you know, turtled, and him, like, he had good position, man, and I knew, like, things were gonna start. The cloud was coming, man. I could see the darkness coming, and so I was just sitting there, like, just getting ready, and he stopped, and he was like, "You all right, man?" Because I think he thought he caught me in the groin or something in the transition, and I was like, same thing. I was like, "Oh no, I just didn't work out like I thought it would, and I'm just getting ready, man." So,
Preparing myself for the impending doom.
But he is, man. He's such a nice guy you can forget when you're rolling with him sometimes. Like, oh yeah, he is being a nice guy, and he could just freaking go. But like you said, like for him, you know, if he entered a absolute division and got against some smaller dude, it's a no-win situation. Yeah. Like, he should beat that guy, and if he loses because again, man, the jiu-jitsu gods, sometimes it happens, man. Yeah. Sometimes they smile on the other dude, and that's what everybody's lost. And so, but yeah, then it's like, oh, you know, what happened there? And then, you know, so, yeah, it's but that's, dude, everybody steps on the mat. You gotta fucking,
yeah. I mean, when it comes to competing,
yeah,
like, yeah, dude, like if you sign up for the absolute division. Yeah, dude, fuck it. That's just what you signed up for.
Yep.
You know, that's the big dude should smash the fucking little guy.
Yeah,
use his size, use his weight. Like, that's the name of the game. You're there to win.
Yeah.
You're not there to play nice.
No,
you know?
Not at all.
Nope.
But that's what. Fuck, whatever. So
yeah, whatever. Non sequitur. But have you listened to the Henry Rollins interview on JRE this week?
I have not.
I
No.
love that dude, man.
Yeah,
he's fucking awesome.
He's fucking hilarious.
I haven't got all the way through it yet, but that dude is so awesome. I'm halfway through it.
Yeah, he's God, I think he was. I've heard a couple of his interviews. Yeah, he's a interesting cat.
Were you a big fan of his back in the day? Like,
Oh yeah, man, Danzig.
no,
Not
Well,
Danzig.
he came to fame. He was the lead singer of Black Flag,
Right. Yeah.
and then he went. Then he had the Henry Rollins band.
Yeah.
You know, those were his two musical fortes. But I mean, he's done other shit, but I think those are probably the two most popular.
Yeah.
But like in the Black Flag era, like he started writing books and he started doing spoken word stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because you get into a lot of Rollins band stuff. It's a lot of spoken word type.
See, I know him more on that level, like his. Dude, what band was it? Was it the Henry Rollins band? The fucking
Liar.
Yeah.
Where he's just jacked.
Yeah.
Remember the video?
Yeah,
where
man.
he's just like fucking huge.
Yes.
Like his neck is
See,
as big as my waist.
That's musically, that's why, because it was the MTV era.
Yeah.
So like I remember his fucking videos. And
Yeah, that would be the Henry Rollins band.
Yes, and so that's what I remember him, and I definitely had a couple fucking songs of his as a teenage kid, fucking pumped up, lifting weights and shit for sure, man.
Dude. Yeah.
But I know him more in his kind of second life is kind of a weird philosopher, book writer, spoken word dude who's like, again, one of these people that you'd look at and just write off, and then you start talking to him and it's like, holy shit, like this dude's really smart.
Yeah,
got some really interesting takes on things based on like his life experience. 'Cause again, he's lived a fucking crazy life, and so I enjoy listening to his shit.
Yeah. It's a good interview. You'll like it. Like I said, I'm not all the way through it yet, but yeah, man, that dude's fucking awesome. He said he was talking about he discovered, like I think it was like late teens, early 20s, that he's like, man, I'm not an artist, so to speak. Like I'm not artistic, but he's like, I fall into that vein. Like you can't just put me into the straight world.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I can task anything. He's like, you put me in a Kroger's or a Ralph's or whatever, Home Depot, whatever. He's like, I will do the job. I'll do it fucking well. I can fall in line, and I can do that. But on the inside, I'm just fucking freaking out. He's like, I realized that early on, and I can't maintain in the straight world. And then when he said that, I was like, God damn it, man. I was like, that's like, there's a part of me that's like that. I was like, yeah, like any job, like I can go learn any job and be good at it, and fucking.
Oh yeah.
But on the inside, you're just fucking screaming like, God damn it.
Yeah.
You tortured fucking soul.
I think that's
doing some bullshit job.
I think that's why most people are like that.
I think most people are like that, man.
Man, there's a reason that, like that old fairy tale or whatever, the Emperor's New Clothes, right? That is a statement on society, in that everyone thinks something, but they think that they're the only one who thinks it. And so they just go along with it because everyone else around them is going along with it. Dude, I think most people are fucking screaming and dying inside.
Do you
when
think
they're
so?
working these jobs.
Do you really think so? Like, what percentage of like the workforce doing a normal job like me, just a blue collar stiff? What percentage do you think is just fucking freaking out on the inside?
Now, the difference is how many of them are conscious that they're freaking out and have not learned how to tune it out with either like fucking just time and drugs or, antidepressants and shit. Or like, I think, so what I think is that early on, like, dude, most people don't want to do that shit. Like when you're in your 20s, like you're not, I don't know too many people in their early 20s who aren't dying a little bit inside when they put on a suit and tie and go fucking sit in a cubicle. Like, I know, I'm sure there's some people who like came up and they're like, I want to be a fucking lawyer. But even then, man, I think like they're dying inside. They're just not, they don't realize it. And so, but you just think like this is normal. Like everyone, this is just what you do. And everyone else is cool with it. Like, I'm the one who has the problem. And I don't want to say that I have the problem because then everyone's going to think that I'm weird. What are you, some fucking hippie? What are you going to go fucking live under a bridge? You know what I mean? And so they learn to tune it out. And I'd be like, dude, that's why so many people are on fucking antidepressants and shit. I think that they're dying inside and they've just tuned it out. And yeah, I think that most people are like that.
So, all right, I'm gonna hold you back to it. What do you think percentage is? Like,
fuck. I mean, I would say like 90+%.
Really?
I think
you think so?
I think you have your few sociopaths, and we've talked about this before, and this is the problem. Like people, there are people like I don't know, like Elon Musk and fucking Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs, like these guys that they're just uber driven and they're like, but even. Again, like, are they healthy? Like that's the thing, man. Like, you can deny what's going on in your head, but you can't deny the results that are coming from your actions. And you look at these people and they're not healthy. They're not healthy physically. They're not healthy mentally. So if they're sitting there looking you in the face and they're saying, I feel fine, and you're looking at them and you're like, dude, but you don't look fine. You don't act fine. Then are they really fine? And so I don't know. Like, I think that, I mean, dude, you look around the people that you work with, right? Like, how many of them strike you as like just really fucking physically and mentally healthy?
Man, none of them.
Okay, so
like I mean, there's like, okay, so of all the people I work with, just I'm talking about my situation. There's really only like, honestly, man, like. One other guy, maybe two other guys that I would say like are pretty physically healthy. There's that one dude who does like the mountain trail races and shit. So he's got a hobby on the outside.
Right.
He used to ride dirt bikes. He does these fucking crazy mountain long distance fucking 17-mile runs. The dude's a little bit of a nut job like myself.
Yeah.
And we get along pretty good. But me and him are the fucking anomalies. Like, you look around at everybody else and no one is physical.
Yeah, like or just like when you talk to them, they're not like mentally sharp and engaged. Like you don't get the feeling that, like, I don't know. Like I said, man, I could just be going off on a fucking wrong tangent.
See, I don't see it. No. I don't think you're wrong. But I don't know. I do, like, it isn't a cut and dry answer. Like, yeah, if you're just to say how many people are fucking just freaking out on the inside, but they're just toting the line, like myself, that's the category I'd put myself in. Like, I'm doing a job, I got bills to fucking pay. I'm being a normal member of society. You know what I mean? Like, I'm checking those stupid fucking boxes that I don't want to check. They're fucking up my arm bars, man. But, like, it's a fight. But there's a lot of people that I think that it's like an acceptance of defeat.
Yeah, but they just resign themselves.
They just resign themselves.
And they've resigned themselves to it because they look around and they see everyone else resign to it too.
They're like, oh, this is it.
This is it. This is just normal.
This is just normal. This is just what you do.
This is what you do. And
you see that manifest itself because, like, they're not healthy.
They're not healthy. They're not happy.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, like, so... Yeah, they're not trying to better themselves. You don't, like, they do the same job I do. They're driving around a fucking truck all day. They're not listening to books or fucking... learning a podcast. Most of them don't even know what podcasts are.
Yeah.
They listen to goddamn right-wing talk radio, fucking, Rush
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity all day long. They do. They listen to Sean Hannity all day long.
Is that motherfucker still around?
I think probably.
I don't know.
Glenn Beck and shit.
Yeah.
They're pissed off when they got to deliver supplies to the weed grow place. Like, these fucking hippies. Like, it's funny.
Oh
dude.
my God.
So many people I work with are so pissed off whenever they have to deliver to a fucking weed grow place.
Wow.
They're like, oh, I think it's bull.
In this day and age,
dude, I have coworkers that have said to me, like, man, I don't think we should deliver to them. He's like, whenever we go there, they're so stupid. It takes them forever to unload. And I deliver to these fuckers all the time. It's not the case.
No.
It's not the fucking case.
No, man.
But they have these preconceived ideas.
Professional operations,
Yeah,
man.
they're professional fucking...
Dude, I would say, like, a weed shop, the few that I've been in, they're like way more professionally run than the vast majority of fucking businesses out there, man. And they have to be because they got fucking Big Brother.
Well, that and competition, dude. Like,
competition,
shops all over. So if they're not running a tight ship,
the point is, it's a bullshit. It's not a true.
Yeah, they go in with that stereotype,
yes.
And so they assign that to whatever action happens in that little delivery, that interaction they have.
Yeah,
but yeah, like, that's the type of people that. I think that's indicative of, like, dying on the inside. So then they fucking listen to Rush Limbaugh or whatever the fuck it is, and they're all pissed off because they got delivered to a weed shop.
And they need an enemy.
Yeah, something. I don't know. But I don't know, man. Like, it's tough. I wouldn't say 90% of the people are fucking freaking out on the inside. I would say, man, it's tough. I guess what do you qualify as freaking out
That's
on the inside?
what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, it is tough when I really start to think about that.
It's
It was a
like,
real.
what do you qualify as shit in your pants?
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll fucking talk about that. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a real cut and dry question, but then now the more I think about it,
I would say like having that feeling in your stomach that you just know something's off. Like I would kind of consider that. Like I think you have your sociopaths that don't get that feeling. I think that's that 10%. The people who are just driven by more and more and more. Like the fucking number in my bank account is who I am, and they just don't feel what normal people feel. And again, like I said, like these are the people a lot of times though that like social media and the media prop up is like these are the high achievers in our society and what you should aspire to. And it's like, yeah, but they're fucking sociopaths.
Yeah.
Like that's not fucking help. Like so I think that most people at some point have had that feeling in their gut that there has to be more. This isn't it. Like I wasn't put here on this fucking planet for this shit. And that I think that eventually over time, a lot of them learn how to deal with it and tune it out and just normalize it. And so that's why you run across people that you're like, I don't even know if they fucking care if it registers with them anymore, just because they've become comfortably numb.
What I think is what happens, it turns into this vicious fucking cycle of they're tortured on the inside, and they realize that early on, but they're making money, so they think buying something is going to make them feel better.
Or
like,
if they can earn this amount of money, then they can quit.
Right. Yeah, that never happens.
Right.
But like okay, if I buy this badass motorcycle, this badass car, I'm going to feel better. Well, then now, you got that payment. Oh, now you got insurance on that fucking thing. Now you got to think, now I need more money coming in. You know what I mean? Like,
even worse, you realize, wait a minute, I don't feel any better.
Yeah, you don't feel any better.
I just got this fucking car. Like, I felt really fucking awesome when I got it, and like maybe for a day or two afterwards, but I feel the same.
I feel the fucking same.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So like not only do you
I think
have
that's
that
what
payment,
happened. Yeah.
but now you're looking for something else to buy.
And then you buy something else.
Yeah.
Thinking that's going to be the answer. And that's not the fucking answer. And next thing you know, you got payment after fucking payment. You don't feel any better. But then, even though you're a tortured fucking soul, it don't matter. You got to go to fucking be a tortured soul.
Man.
Because if not, you got debt collectors coming at you.
Well, that's why college is such a fucking scam for most kids. I mean, they come out of college and they've got a mountain of debt. So they're already behind the 8 ball. They're already forced to do whatever the fuck they can to pay that debt off. Whether it's something they actually like to do. Because again, that's the irony. People get a degree and then they have to work a job that's not even in their fucking field because they have to pay the college debt off, or they're working in their field and they realize, fuck, I don't really want to do this, but this is the only thing I can do that makes me enough money to where I can pay off my college loans. And then you're just stuck. You're fucking in the hamster wheel, and good luck getting off of it. Because I mean, you come out on your first day in the system, you're already tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And dude, you better start running. Fucking get that wheel going, buddy, because you got bills to pay. It's like, so no wonder people end up just comfortably numb, sitting at a desk, going, what the fuck? Waiting for Tyler Durden to come into their life. Fucking shake things up, baby. So, yeah.
That's what we got to try to be, is be that Tyler Durden.
I know, but that was the whole, I don't know, Fight Club had so many awesome messages, but dude, that was such a big part of it. Was we're fucking dying, man. Like, this is not what we were put here for. And it wasn't fighting, right? Like Fight Club, the fighting was a metaphor for something like deeper and bigger. And it, yeah. And sometimes men have the need to communicate through violence. So
I feel the need to communicate through violence today, man. I feel like it might be one of the, we'll see who turns up, but man, I think I want to skip drilling, put on some fucking heavy metal and get some hard rounds.
Get after it.
Fucking just train, dude.
Yeah. I know. Well, I guess maybe I'm glad I'm not going in today. I'm going to ride bikes after this. Got a almost 4-hour drive to Steamboat, and then I'm gonna hop out of my car and
Pedal
go
your ass
downhill.
off.
Nah, we're gonna do
Oh, you're
downhill
doing
laps.
downhill?
So yeah, throw my bike on the lift and go hit some jumps and drops and just let gravity do its thing. So
That sounds more dangerous.
it is more dangerous.
Heavy metal infused fucking rounds.
But the crossface pressure is much less. So
Yeah, that rock will win though. That cross racer rock's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You wear like a full face helmet?
I
Like
do
like
doing that.
Like
Yeah.
a dirt bike style helmet.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little lighter weight than that
Right,
because
but-
we're not hurtling at fucking 80 miles an hour.
But it's the same idea.
Yeah. I got a full face helmet, so it's pretty nice. Got a nice carbon one, so it's
Yeah.
nice and light. And I've had some heavier ones, man. Like after a day, like this is before like the neck ramping isometrics. So yeah, dude, after a day of downhilling and you just got fucking helmets, just like, oh, my neck's killing me. So yeah, I got a nice lightweight helmet and ramping isometrics on my side this time.
Yeah.
But man, I haven't been riding my bike much. I haven't had my bike park bike out, and God, I don't know if I pulled it out last year. So this may be the first time in 2 years I'm hitting up a bike park.
Really?
Yeah. See if I can remember how to do it. But like they say, it's like riding a bike. So
It's like riding a bike.
It is like riding a bike, man.
It's like riding a bike.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. Like when I was really into it. I mean, when you get to the point where you can hit a 40-foot gap jump and it's fucking fun, you're just like, it retards your sense of other shit.
That's terrifying to think about.
So-
That's a big fucking jump, dude.
Huge, dude. The
Consequences are so high.
High.
If you fuck that up, you are going to the hospital.
More than likely,
Yeah,
yes.
very good chance you're going to the
Yeah,
hospital.
or it's gonna hurt.
It's
At the
gonna-
very least. At the very least, it's gonna hurt.
At the very least, it's
Yeah.
gonna hurt, and then be super expensive when you go to the hospital.
Yeah, I remember the guy putting in the fucking mounds of dirt, and they were like, put this one here, and I keep going back, put the other one in here, and he was like, y'all gonna jump this on your pedal bikes? Like he thought we were setting up for motocross, like, because we told him it was pedal bikes, and then when the jumps got big, he was like, you hitting this on your pedal bikes? It's like, yeah, on our pedal bikes, bro, that's what we're doing it on. And but yeah, man, that fucking 40 feet is till you see it. You're standing on the top of the lip and you're looking across at like, I gotta make it all the way over there on my bike. And but dude, yeah, it's so much fun when you're in the air hitting that shit.
How do you fucking get good at something like that? That's one part I like, gap jumps, in particular. Like, cause you have a landing,
Yeah.
but you got that big of a gap to clear, so you want to fucking haul ass. But if you overshoot that landing, you are Foxville also.
Oh yeah.
So you got to have like almost like the perfect speed.
Yeah, you gotta have a sense for it.
Yeah, I mean how do you acquire that fucking skill? Like how fast do you know? Because you don't have a speedometer on your bike.
No.
So you can't be like, okay, I have to hit 28 miles an hour by the time I hit this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You don't know.
Right.
It's a feel.
There's a feel for sure. No. Definitely there's a feel.
It's crazy to think about.
The thing is, there's things that you can do too so if I get to the lip and I realize I'm going a little slow, I can put a little more like oomph into the popping off the lip to get a little more off of that. If I'm coming in hot and I'm realizing like, oh shit, I can scrub a little bit and suck up the lip a little bit. And same thing, there's things you can do in the air that if you hit the jump right, there's a moment where you're weightless. And like that's that moment that people are looking for to do tricks and shit. And like that's where you're just, dude, it's as close to fucking flying as a human being can get without like strapping a motor and having something, a system. And but when you're there, there's things again you can do like, oh, I gotta like not quite there, or oh, it's underneath me, and so you can manipulate the effort, but you definitely got to get a feel for the speed. And man, a lot of that is where you get the follow my line shit. Like, I talked about, like, that was that brotherhood that I feel like we got with the jiu-jitsu guys that I, miss with the free ride downhill shit is like, man, the easiest thing to do is find someone who's hit it before and follow them in. And so
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, you learn, so there's definitely that, but there's a lot of that, man. Like bigger shit is definitely way easier and better if you've got someone
Because you can gauge your speed on them. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if I keep
Follow
the
my
same
line.
distance behind
Yep.
him, I know I'm keeping the same speed.
Yep. Yeah. Follow my line, dude.
Oh shit, I'm getting too close. Oh fuck.
Yeah, or watching them hit it so you can get an idea. Because that's another thing. There's such a the human brain, like once you see someone else do it, you're like your brain can conceptualize it. It can already start to problem solve and figure out and like put it based on like your experiences and be like, can I contextualize myself in this and see it. And so there's definitely a lot of that too. Because man, the first time I hit that 40, like I wasn't following anyone in. I was just in the jumps, man. It was so much fun. We had like a little 20 foot, like maybe 15, 20 foot gap. And then it led you into like a little like 30 some odd foot kind of hip. And then that fed you into the 40 footer. And then the 40 footer fed you into another like 30 plus foot hip. So dude, you're taking off like 100 plus feet of air in 3 jumps. And dude, it was fucking so much fun. But now, like I said, when you get to that point, it's kind of like, if you took a couple years off of doing jiu-jitsu, you could still come back and do really well against a white belt or blue belt. You know what I mean? And the reality is a lot of the stuff that you come across on trails or even at bike parks, again, there's some like double black diamond shit that's super legit. But the vast majority of the shit you're coming across, I'd term more as like white belt, blue belt level stuff. So it's like, I'm not like worried. It's more just, all right, I'm just going to have to knock the rust off a little bit. But yeah, I can show up at a bike park and start hitting some jumps and drops and stuff. It's in my DNA, man. At this point, it's just fucking wired. It's like your arm bars, It's the point I'm trying to get to with my back takes and stuff. You just get wired.
You don't just fucking
you don't even know, man. It's
dream about it, think about it. It's there.
It literally is. It's part of your DNA. It's in your nervous system.
Yeah.
It's just baked into your nervous system. And like that's what like jiu-jitsu, when you get that point, how the fuck did that happen? You're like, it's just baked in, bro.
It's baked in when you get to, that happens a lot, man. I'll get to a certain position, and then it kind of simmers down for a minute. And I'd be like, how the fuck did I get here?
Yeah.
And sometimes I can't replay it. Sometimes
No.
I'm like, I have no idea what transpired to get me there.
Or just, God, man, that's one of the reasons I love playing open guard is just my feet, my legs, my arms are just like working together, but they're working, it's almost like an octopus, man. It's like each one has their own
little job,
own little thought center, and they're controlling themselves on some level. I'm like, oh, that okay, good. It's like I don't even have to think about it, but you just got all your limbs just working together to get the fucking inside foot position and start lifting and. He's starting to come around. Oh, where's the ankle? Don't let him get the fucking ankle line. Watch. Okay, got the back inside the ankle line. And oh yeah, it's so much fun. I love that shit. That's the moments where you're just I don't know, just feeling the spirit of the thing itself is flowing through you.
It's flowing through.
Yeah.
It's not being crushed when you're at your soul crushing fucking job.
No.
Screaming on the inside.
Exactly. So, speaking of which, what's the shit yourself?
Oh, yeah, so, a couple of, so this is my thought. A couple episodes back, you kind of fucking railroaded me into admitting that I poop my pants like once a year.
It's kind of a trick more than the railroad, but...
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I got fucked. There was some, like, fucking brown belt level fucking verbal jiu-jitsu going on there. But, I thought for sure... I would catch, no pun intended, a bunch of shit from friends, families, listeners about me admitting that I shit my pants, once a year. Zero comments from friends, family, anybody. And what that tells me is everybody is shitting their pants just as much, or if not more often. That's exactly what that tells me. So.
Oh, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Just for the record, and Z, if you're listening, I still say that 0 is the correct answer to the question of how many times you shit your pants. But what this leads us to also is our new concept of danger-based nutrition.
Danger-based nutrition.
Because we were talking, again, not only did you not receive any shit, you actually received like negative shit. You received reinforcement from Kevin, who made you actually feel better about yourself by like being like, I thought everyone did.
Yeah.
And so
it was perfectly normal.
Right, it's perfectly normal. And of course, through conversation, like MCT oil seems to be, at the heart of a lot of these charts.
Yeah.
And so I was just saying, like, talking about, like, I use coconut oil, which has MCT oils in it. And I've never had a problem with coconut oil. So why would I fuck around with MCT oil when I know that it's dangerous? And you're like, that's why I like to do it. It's dangerous.
Dangerous.
And so we've got the concept of danger-based nutrition, which also led us to our concept of danger-based cardio.
Danger-based cardio is very effective.
Very effective, which came from your attempt to try to kill yourself and one of our teammates, Randy, with an attempt to swim 10 laps back and forth
to the island,
to a little island at Snook's Bottom. Which, I mean, what would if I was to? God, I'd say that's probably a good like
50 yards.
I was gonna say like 60 feet. 50 yards, 150 feet. No,
that's
not
that far.
150 feet.
That's not that
man.
far.
No.
That's right.
I would say it's in the 80-foot range, give or take.
Yeah, that's probably. How long is an Olympic pool?
Fuck if I know. Dude, honestly,
it's a little longer now.
I judge, and this goes back to what I was just saying. I judge distance based on bike jumps. Mm-hmm. Like I can see in my head like what a 40-foot, like that 40-footer. If I'm standing on the shore, I can kind of get an idea, and it's probably a little less than double that length.
60, 70 feet.
Yeah,
that's probably pretty.
Yeah. So, but anyways, it's far enough. And it's funny, man. We were thinking about, like, because you guys were talking about, like, man, the hardest part of swimming is staying calm. Because you can't fucking panic. Because there's this little element of danger that, man, if, I cramp up right here and can't touch the bottom, like, there's no lifeguard on duty. This is fucking little public swim hole. So, but yeah, it was funny. Got us talking and thinking about like the danger-based cardio and danger-based nutrition. But I think that's why, like, jiu-jitsu, you're not going to die, but you're in more danger than you are running on a fucking treadmill.
Yep.
And so there's definitely a spectrum of danger-based cardio. But
there's some really value to that. Like, I didn't think about going into it. But yeah, so I'm swimming laps from shore to shore, from shore to little island. And you have 80% of that swim you can't touch. I mean, it's an old gravel pit, so it gets deep really fast. You got to get within pretty close, within a few feet of shore on either side to be able to touch. So a big portion of that swim, you ain't touching fucking bottom.
No.
So if you, we were doing sprints across it. And it took about 45 seconds to get across. I mean, that's sprinting. I say, like, I'm not a fucking Michael Phelps. But it was a sprint for me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty winded by the time I get to the other side. So it's sprint across, wait 90 seconds, sprint back. That was the deal. But yeah, so when you're getting, like, it's 45-second effort across, dude, you get about 30 seconds in, that water's deep as fuck, and you're hurting physically. And you're swimming. So it's not like you can just breathe. Like, you got to time your breathing, time your strokes. Like, and you can't freak out.
Yeah,
because if you freak out fucking mentally, like if you start if you get into that panic breath or whatever, like
that's where you get big trouble.
Big trouble in the middle of the fucking pond. In panic breathing, you're gonna get fucked, dude. It's not gonna go well.
So breathing goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, man. If your breathing's fucked, like if you can't keep your breathing control, I probably wouldn't suggest like trying to swim. You know what I mean? Like because that is where you get fucked. And I remember thinking that myself, swimming back and forth. Mm-hmm. The few times I've done it is you get there in the middle, and there's just your brain starts going like, dude, I'm fucking out in the middle of the water. Like, what if this happened? What if that happened? And because especially if you don't swim a lot, like that's the thing. I think one of the reasons that you're getting out there and swimming is good exercise, but too, man, it's like just good to be acclimated to being in the water and swimming. because if you don't do it a bunch, it's a foreign thing. And then you jump in and you're swimming around and your brain's like thinking all sorts of shit. And you're like, dude, you gotta stay calm. But it's just like someone getting on your back.
You gotta stay calm. You gotta breathe, stay calm.
Worst thing you can do. I mean,
find the shore.
Yeah, find the shore. Just, keep your fucking breathing under control or you're never gonna get there.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times we had that talk with white belts that we're like, yo, man, like, breathe. It's
okay.
You're gonna die if you fucking keep breathing like that, man. You're gonna hyperventilate. So, yeah, that is funny, man. It is one of those things. Like I get, I don't know. There's moments in jiu-jitsu where you realize that you're just trained to react differently than most humans do to stressful situations, and like that's one of them. Like someone gets on my back. Or you start to get mounted and the instinct is to calm the fuck down because it's not like regular human instinct if you're getting in those bad situations, because you see it with white belts, man. You get a white belt mounted or you get on their back or top side control and they're just like and they're just freaking out trying to get away, and that's where you fucking cook yourself. And so we've literally had to like retrain our nervous system. Because you can't think about it. It has to just be an automatic reaction to, you cannot start panicking and going into panic breathing. And in fact, I find my breathing like calming and slowing down in those situations because...
It's got to be an automatic response. Like you get into a shitty position, it needs to be like subconscious. Like, ooh, it's time to slow things down and find an answer.
Yeah.
Like it's not time... Oh, maybe it is time to explore, but it's a second. It's a fast thought process, but it's okay. I need to breathe, assess. Oh, maybe I should go. Oh, no, I need to breathe, control.
Don't let the situation control your breathing. Like, you need to control your breathing. And the problem is most people let the situation control their breathing. And again, that's where like you get out in the middle of the lake and you start panicking. And it's like the situation's controlling your breathing. You're not controlling it. And so, like, that's what I was saying. Like, most people just pay lip service to their breathing because as much as they want to pretend, man, the situation still controls their breathing, not them. And
that's kind of what I've been liking swimming.
Yeah.
Like for my cardio training coming, leading into Masters Worlds, is I've been doing more of it. I'm going to go out again tomorrow morning after practice. But yeah, man, because it forces you to have your breathing front and center. You're going through another activity, you're doing other shit, and you're winding yourself to where you want to breathe fast, like, whoo, but you can't. It's like, nope, I gotta fucking maintain this.
Yes.
No matter how, like, psychologically or physically, like, this hurts or whatever it is, but you gotta fucking maintain.
Yeah, it's just like the ramping isos. As soon as you let that breathing go, man, it's gonna hurt 10 times worse.
Dude, that's so true. Like, you're doing those fucking ramping iso, like the squats.
Yeah.
And you start breathing like that.
Oh
God, it's
you
terrible.
Want, man, your body's like, oh, just take one quick breath. It'll feel so good, man. Just one quick breath. But like, you're a liar. You're a fucking liar. You're a liar. I've trusted you before, motherfucker. Yeah. It feels good for that one breath, and then things just collapse.
But then it's so hard to get it back.
Oh, you can't.
You
can't, man. Like that's it's the domino thing, right? Like people look at, and I've talked about this before, it's like they gas out, right? So their muscles give out and they gas out, and they're like, okay, that's the end, but what happened, their breathing went out first. The breathing was that first domino, then the breathing started to affect their posture, then their posture started to affect their movement, and now they're just moving so inefficiently and just wasting energy that whatever energy reserves they have, they're just blowing through so quickly. But they, you experience this, breathless, fucking burning thing is that hitting the wall, and then you just try to recreate that feeling and call that training without realizing, like, no, training is, like you're saying, like, you have to keep that first domino. Like, when you're swimming, you can't let that first domino fall. You can't let that breathing domino fall, because that's when you're going to start getting into danger. So if you can keep that breathing domino from falling, you keep yourself safe. And that's the whole fucking, like, the danger-based cardio thing, is it reinforces. Because without that, like, you're on a treadmill running, and you don't really kind of have that, front and center. Like, shit's going to get way worse for me real quickly if I don't keep my breathing under control then it's kind of hard to focus on. You just all of a sudden you're breathing funny and your posture's funny and you're running funny and you're like, oh man, I'm breathing hard and my muscles are burning. This is good cardio training. Woohoo! It's like, fuck, no, man. You just keep reinforcing bad habits. So that's where danger-based cardio comes in, baby.
Yep.
If that breathing domino falls, then that's when you're in danger. So
we're not advocating going out and putting yourself in physical harm's way, but there is benefit to it.
Yes. Off of the trail mud, wanted back in. So yes, all right. Well, there we go. Danger-based cardio and nutrition. So if you like
living dangerously,
man,
up your MCT oil and go for a swim at the same time.
Oh no.
If you don't wear swim trunks, it's no big deal.
Oh God, dude. Just don't do it.
But then if you upped your MCT oil, you went swimming with no swim trunks, and then you're up in the level of danger there, because then you could get arrested for like indecent exposure or something also.
Yeah.
But I don't see any cops.
You can just do it at your own infinity pool at home.
I don't
just
have
carry it away.
I don't have one of those. I want one.
I know, they look cool.
They look fucking cool, but they're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
Not cheap at all. So
then I fall into the fucking cycle like, oh, I'll just finance it. Oh, then I got to go back to work to pay the goddamn bills.
For an infinity pool.
You
just got Snook's bottom and swim.
That's exactly
fucking laps
for
free.
For free.
That's right.
Except for the gas to drive
How
out
old
there.
school people did it.
That's right.
So, got one more thing before we fucking start the process of signing off, because it's always a process for us.
It is.
Want to give fucking shout out to our boy Cameron. Had his last fight last weekend. I think we were talking about. We were getting ready to go to it.
Hung his gloves up, man.
Yeah, man, super proud of that guy. You know, the result wasn't what he was looking for, but I mean, like we were saying last time, he personifies the spirit of competition. I mean, he literally had a fight lined up, it fell through, came to these guys, said, I'll take whoever, don't even have to pay me, just whatever gate, tickets I sell, I'll take that. And stepped in there, and I think that that right there, win or lose,
you win right there. Just
yeah, man,
because you train hard for it, and that mindset.
Yeah,
dude, that's most people in the world don't have that mindset.
No, man, or they train hard like that. Like, how many people would just be like, give me whoever, you don't even have to pay me.
Yeah,
I want to fight.
That's badass.
I want to fight.
Yeah, and
it's like win or lose. I think like he couldn't have gone out on a better note, because it's like that's the ultimate spirit of the thing. So, proud of you, Cameron.
Fuck yeah.
So, proud of you.
Of course, we would like to see him win, but man, dude, fighting is such a vulnerable thing, man.
Yeah.
You're getting out there basically in your underwear, fighting another fucking grown man with everybody watching, and like it's just so primal and different. Like if you lose that, the feeling of losing a fight or a match is so much different than losing a fucking basketball game.
Yeah.
It's just, and especially with people watching and shit, like, dude, it is a fucking super vulnerable thing, man.
Yep.
That's what I think a lot of people miss, that aspect. They just watch it and judge it. You know, whatever. It's
hard to contextualize it.
It is, dude, until you've done it, man.
Yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu matches are one thing, but even fight, I've had some MMA fights. Like dude, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
To get beat up in front of your friends and family, man. Like it's not easy. And to put yourself out there like that and take that, you got a 50-50 chance, man. Two people step into that ring or that cage, only one of you is walking out a winner.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
and that's what makes MMA so interesting. It's not boxing. Like, I mean, anything can happen, man.
Fucking anything.
And you know it. You're walking in there and you know, like, man, I can catch a crazy knee or anything can happen.
It's a fight.
It's a fight.
It's a fucking fight.
Yeah.
Man.
So, but anyways, I just wanted to, Cameron's been a great teammate of ours, and I think I've told you, he actually kind of got me into jiu-jitsu before I got into jiu-jitsu. He dragged me into the 8th Street gym a couple times when they were in the garage behind Tom's house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, dude, a lot of people probably don't realize. I mean, this would be for super local, but like, I would say he's like one of the MMA pioneers here in this town, man. This valley. Like, he's been at it for a long fucking time. Like when I moved here 11 years ago and started, teaching jiu-jitsu at 8th Street, I was just a 2-stripe blue belt, and he was one of the only other guys that would put a gi on with me.
Yeah.
He was a martial artist back then. He was just getting started in jiu-jitsu back then. He was, There was him and Jeff, and there's
Yeah.
just a few other guys that would randomly put on a gi. And then when I moved here, like I slowly like fed him the Kool-Aid, like let's train the gi more, put the gi on more, you know. But yeah, he's one of the fucking MMA pioneers here in the Valley, man.
Heck yeah, man.
He's been at it a long ass time.
Yeah, without guys like that wouldn't be, a future. That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta lay the groundwork. So, but anyways, yeah, it was a good fight. But I did also want to just touch on the sponsor situation and how funny it was.
Jesus Christ!
Everything was sponsored. The frickin' the so and so walk out to the so and so inspection area to the so and so ring girl to the you understand why. We understand why they got to pay the bills. So without that, they wouldn't have had the fights. We understand, but after a while, man, it was just funny.
My ears got assaulted. It reminded me so much of watching old school TV, to where you got a fucking commercial every 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And you don't get to choose what gets forced into your eyeballs and your ear holes.
Yeah.
It just gets forced on your throat. You're like, God damn it, man. Oh, he's coming down to the Red Rock fighter inspection area. Oh no, it was like the Red Rock Nissan fighter walkout. Now he's entering the fucking Kroger fighter inspection area. Now it's like,
was it Andy's looking for
I don't know.
No, it worked because we just gave all those people a shout out on our fucking podcast right now.
Whatever.
I know, but that's the point.
God, it was
repetition.
It was so abusive.
But yeah,
to my senses.
It is an abusive way of getting your message into somebody's mind. It's an effective way, but it's definitely an abusive way. But we were the announcer guy was cracking us up too, because he was trying to do some in-depth interviews with some of the fighters, and some of the fights didn't really deserve that much of an in-depth interview. And at one point we started joking that they needed a silver lining sponsor for again, man, people go in there, they put in their best effort, but it was kind of funny the way he would spin some of the stuff. We're just like, what, dude, were you watching the same fight that we were? But it was funny. It was a good distraction for us, waiting for Cameron's fight and just people watching and having some fun with the sponsor repetition.
I still feel assaulted from that.
I know, man. So anyways,
that's all I got, man.
That's all I got, man. I gotta go ride some bikes, and you gotta go choke some poor people out.
That's the plan.
And yeah, we're gonna go from there. So yeah, next week I'll be in Long Beach. The weekend after that, you got Masters Worlds.
It's coming up, man.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Feel pretty good.
Yeah, weight's good.
Yeah, I moved up a weight class.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I moved up to the 168 with the gi. So I can fucking eat. And I just didn't need the stress, man, of getting down there. I didn't want to cut weight. I didn't need the added stress right now. I was just like, fuck it, man. I just moved up a weight class.
Dude, I remember the one you did in Denver. You were fucking a bitter Boy Scout when you came back from that one. Yeah. Like you were like, that weight cut was
rough,
stupid.
Dude.
Yeah,
it was fucking rough.
Yeah,
I felt like shit.
Yeah, so I remember.
There was no point in doing that again.
No, I'm glad you remembered.
I'm a fucking weekend warrior, man. I'm not a fucking professional athlete here. You know?
Yeah.
I'm a hobbyist. I do this for fun, and it needs to be fun. I need to be relaxed and having fun, and adding that. Competing is stressful enough as it is, man. Because you want to do good, and adding that extra element of fucking being, because I'm strict with my diet as it is. I measure and weigh and keep track on a regular basis. I was doing all that, and just the lightest I was getting after a hard day of training was like 155.
Yeah.
150, and that was dehydrated. Like after a hard day, like on a Saturday, for example. Like I haven't eaten today. Drink some coffee and then go train hard. From drilling to the Grumpy Guy Fit to fucking hard rounds. And I'd be 154, 155 pounds. I'm like, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
That was like the lightest I was seeing. And that was even after eating clean all week. I was like, yeah, I'm not suffering.
Yeah.
Fuck that. It needs to be fun.
Fucking isos, man. Put some muscle on you.
Must have.
Reset your set point weight there. So
yeah, it's a little
hard. Or I might just be getting old.
Little of both. Little of both, I'm sure.
Little of both, I'm sure, man. Both, so, all right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up, and you can go do some jiu-jitsu. I'll go ride some bikes.
Don't get fucked up.
I won't, man. I'm just gonna go have some fun, drink some beers with some buddies, and get a ride in tomorrow. Do a little backcountry riding, and then drive on back.
Watch out for the wildfires.
Yeah.
Don't ride into any fucking orange and red stuff.
I'll stay away.
That's good.
It seems pretty safe, so.
You would think so.
You'd think so.
But you never know.
I know.
I can jump that fire.
It's just smoky.
Just smoky.
Fucking
We can ride through that trail. It's just really smoky in there.
Like cold trickle, baby. Fucking floor it going into the smoke. Fuck it.
It's really smoky in those woods. Oh, that trail's really fun though. Fucking yeah, bad idea. All right, man.
All right, well,
Call it
I
a
guess
day.
we'll talk to everybody next time on the old Grumpy Guy BJJ podcast.
Sounds good. See ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now. So get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week.
Down clown with a permanent rep. A hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy cool. Got a froggy outside Molly dude. Now then calling Daisy Duke. Hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools. Shaped into face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open. At times two, no clue. But soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels. I keep on beating for several of them rebels. Me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I.